Today is 2nd of February, market opened negative and was largely in negative territory throughout the day, down 13.83363. Over here we have a very nice consolidation breakout and experiencing the first pullback now. The last 4 bars are clustered together. This is generally positive. Now if you can continue to do likewise, we'd like to see eventually take out this intraday high here of 3408. Support remain at this gap here at about 3318. The more significant support is at 3300. Let's take a look at the US market. This is S&P 500. Mentioned previously, this is a very significant trend line, and it was actually taken up last week, close above the downward trend line, and this is a follow through. So this is a positive development. So basically we are experiencing a trend reversal. Now it's usually expected to experience a pullback, and this previous resistance right now will act as a support. We see quite evidently in the NYSE composite index. So you notice after the break there is a pullback which tests this downward trend line, which is now providing support before you break on the upside. Nasdaq is much weaker, but nevertheless we see the reversal as well, approaching this resistance level. Again, not unexpected if you actually pull back. So by and large the markets are bullish. This is Hang Seng Index. Very strong upward move after breaking the downward trend line. There is a pullback here on low volume. This is a sign of strength, and they break up with a wide range bar. Approaches resistance. You can see actually the body gets smaller. There's actually a sign of losing momentum. So again, not unexpected to experience pullback. Would like to see eventually break on the upside after the pullback. This is the 10-year Treasury yield. The Federal Reserve actually made an announcement. They've increased the Fed fund rate by 25 basis points to 4.75. And you can see the softening of the 10-year yield. So by and large, this retracements is generally positive for the equity markets. And if the pace of the hike continues to slow down, is likely to see further downside move for Treasury yield. Now we also see very strong moves in gold, a very strong rally approaching the resistance at 1950. Again, the pullback is actually not unexpected. I'd like to see eventually take out this high and challenge the 2000. Now Brent crude is generally weak, and you notice actually the oil related stocks in our local markets are also generally weak. Now this is what happened. After approaching 87s, we was not able to actually hold above that, and we see this retracement. In the previous section, we have wide range reversal bar. So we may expect further downward move. Now, $70 appeared to be a support level, and OPEC has actually mentioned that if it drops below 70, they will cut productions to boost the oil price. So generally, that provides an artificial floor. Whatever the case may be, basically it is lackluster. This is the weekly charts with the 40-week plotted is actually trading below that. So again, we may expect further downward move. So $70 is a significant support levels, not likely to be broken on first attempt. Now let's take a look at the stock we'll be discussing. This is Bear's World. Approaching this very obvious high volume resistance level here, so it's something we'd like to watch. Now pullback, last two buys actually lower volume. Again, if you can continue to do so, that is generally positive. I'd like to see take out this high here, which is at 252. Notice the daylight is actually high, so if you can trade sideways closer to daylight, that will provide a very nice base for subsequent upward move. China Aviation Oil. Mentioned that this stock is matured, the trend is matured. If you take a look at this, we have trust pause, and over here the bar tend to cluster together. Over here it's more spaced out. It does show that it's actually losing momentum. Now today trade long ladder doji, a sign of uncertainty. So again, if you can retrace from here, we probably can find a base for further break on the upside. So mentioned previously, actually, if you have this position managed closely, any breakout itself, because at this point in time we actually carry higher risk. Today, in fact, there is a breakout. Notice it didn't close well despite the high volume. So we need to have some patience and like to wait for it to consolidate and eventually look for break on upside. We see quite evidently in some of the stocks that have run up, especially stocks like Thai Beverage and Genting. This is the dairy farm. We have a big dipper breakout. Or rather, this is a small dipper looking for a break above this high here. This is at 333. Now Olam is actually approaching a resistance level, pretty obvious. You can see this here. Here we have a contraction zone, and this is a resistance level which is quite significant. So it's actually hovering below that right now. Again, need patience. This may not be the best stock to trade because we usually do not look for setup just before a congestion area. ISDN again had a very nice run up. Again overextended, look for consolidations below this level here and eventually look for a break above this high here of 61 cents. Food Empire mentioned that these stocks may have low liquidity, so if you trade this, just have to be very careful. Here we have a saucer pattern which break on the upside with increased volume followed by a pullback, and they were further upward move. Now today you actually managed to make high but didn't close well. Look for pullback, look for a new setup. Sembcorp Industry stock finally actually broke through the resistance here. I have noticed a period of consolidations, and this is a very nice run up. Last three bars are inside bar. This is a contraction setup. The bar high here is at 364. Notice actually the last three bar volume has drop off, which is positive. Again, you notice a huge daylight, so if you can trade sideways closer to daylight, that will present us with better odds. Keppel Corp's more challenging because it's approaching this resistance. Again, we need some patience. It will be good if you can pull back below this level before you actually break on the upside.